What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate, reverse rant, no hate. Now, I'm going to jump right into this one because I got to make a couple of points. And I want to address people and their emotions, okay? Their feelings and how they say things. And they're quick to say somebody's wrong about what they feel when we're not quoting something from hearsay but the horse's mouth. Before I even get into that, let's start with this. Okay. So Deontay Wilder, right? He's sticking to his guns. You know, I don't think anybody expect him to say anything different after everything that was said and done. And he was interviewed, and, you know, he spent most of the time talking about the first fight with Fury. And he was saying, I was definitely cheated. Definitely. I mean, I knocked this man out. Now, I've always said, Deontay, you dropped him. But when he got up, you didn't finish him. Let's be realistic. We've seen people get dropped and get up and they're on wobbly legs. Fury got dropped, but he got up, came back, and pretty much won the rest of that round. Which is exactly, in my opinion, the round that made him think, you know what, in the rematch, I'm gonna come at him. You know, we know what Sugar Hill said, that he told him, like, man, you're a big dude, man. You need to be walking this guy down. But at the end of the day, all right, you didn't finish the job. But he's sticking to his guns. Okay, he feels that he was robbed. He's going to ride that to the grave, man. His fans are going to ride that to the grave. They're going to constantly say he never lost, he was cheated. Okay. Pretty much it wasn't really much said in that video that we really care about. And honestly, it was a video where it was an interview where the interviewer was pretty much just trying to be friends with Deontay and agreeing with what he's saying and just supporting everything he says like it's factual because he said it. Okay. So now I want to address this. I did a couple of videos on Tyson Fury. Well, mentioning Tyson Fury, not so much solely on him, but yeah, because Tyson Fury has made several videos saying several things. And here's my thing, and I tell anybody this: we don't have to see eye to eye on things. I'm not about winning arguments, okay? Everybody can have their opinion, but when you tell me I'm wrong about something, and I'm repeating what this man said versus you saying, oh, but I think, I believe. I don't really think that. Well, I think that, okay, you're doing the same thing that Deontay Wilder fans do. Okay? Remember, let's go back. Let's reiterate, okay? Let's go back. There was a time when Tyson Fury, okay, he was accused of doing a whole lot of stuff. And what did we say? We said all these fanboy channels are just making up nonsense because the guy that they thought was going to win didn't win, right? Wasn't I that same guy that said, I don't put cheating past Tyson Fury or anybody. I can't tell you what that man will or wouldn't do. But what I'm saying is what they're saying, it makes no sense to me, right? Everybody that agree, oh, yeah, see, that's right. I feel the same way. Okay, and that's fine. Here's the thing, though, right? What are we basing our beliefs on? What came out of his mouth or hearsay? No. Do you remember I'm the one in the video who said none of this is coming from Wilder? Everything we're hearing, it's coming from Boxing Ego, it's coming from Blue Blood, it's coming from Dante, it's coming from all the other channels, but we're not hearing nothing from Wilder. I said Wilder obviously supports this because he could easily intervene and kill all the suspicion and wondering. And look, don't trip, the better man won. We'll get him next time. I said that, remember? Because basically we were told that he had proof. Okay, proof. Remember, his brother said the autopsy showed that he had a dent in his head. Now, check this out. When Wilder spoke, what did he do? He repeated everything that these other channels were saying, right? So, now, I said he further embarrasses himself because not only did he not intervene, but he's pretty much supporting the claim that he was cheated, right? Oh, Tyson Fury had an egg weight in his glove, right? And his doctor. Now remember, Blue Blood and all these channels said that the doctor told him that. Deontay Wilder said, I believe you had an egg weight in your glove. That's why I got a dent in my head the shape of an egg weight, right? And then remember, there was some sparring partner, that some guy that sparred Fury that made a claim that an egg weight fell out of Fury's glove and all this stuff about cheating and whatever. Okay, now, before I go any further, what did I say in the last video? I said, because Tyson Fury did a video saying, he basically spoke and said, you never know when I'm lying or telling the truth. And I said, wrong choice of words. And I mean exactly what I'm saying. With everything that's happened, all you're doing, for one, is making yourself look iffy. Two, you're fueling all of this nonsense that people sit up and make up stories as it is. Everybody that wanted to see Tyson Fury lose, that hated Tyson Fury for beating Wilder, they did exactly what I said they was going to do. And I told you guys, go online, and I hadn't went online. I hadn't done it yet. And I said, I guarantee you, you're going to see a whole bunch of, Tyson Fury lost the case, and Deontay's forcing the third fight. Why are they going to say that? Why? Because here, we're all thinking Undisputed's about to happen. And all of a sudden, Tyson Fury starts talking about, they're no further closer in this fight happening than they were a month ago and all. Wait, what do you mean? Now, he calls Eddie Hearn a liar, right? So basically, Eddie Hearn's a liar, Anthony Joshua's a liar. Here's the funny thing. Do y'all realize his promoter is saying the same exact thing as Eddie Hearn? So his promoter's not a liar? He said, and then he goes, Eddie Hearn's a promoter, so he's trying to promote a fight. Now, I heard something about, the other promoter, the old guy. Oh man, he's pissed at Eddie Hearn because he announced the fight too early. And okay, first off, that's bullshit. Okay, you want to be able to generate as much interest in this fight as possible. Now, here's my thing, right? They signed the contract, is what was said. Still have no venue. Okay, I seen the Eddie Hearn interviews. Still have no venue and no date. Okay? So even though you signed the contract, and then we was told we know that they had 30 days, it's less than that now. So they had 30 days to agree to the terms and all of this stuff with these different sites. Okay, so my thing is, when people are sitting here saying, you know what though, when Fury said that, what he really meant was, I don't think Fury really meant it that way. But you can't take what he said literally. You really think he's drinking? What did I say in my video? I clearly said, it's getting to the point, it's just stupid. Here's the deal, okay? Doesn't it sound better to say, you never know when I'm joking, or if I'm serious or if I'm joking, then you never know if I'm lying or telling the truth? Doesn't that sound better? Because nobody respects a liar, okay? But you taking it too serious. Well, I don't personally care, but looking at this and analyzing all of it, I'm repeating what came out of Fury's mouth. Not something his trainer said, not something his best friend said, not something his wife said, what came out of his mouth. He also said Sugar Hill went home in December. He sent his whole team home. He hasn't been training. I also said in the video, okay, if that video is true, like if that's updated, if that's right now, that Tyson Fury's gut hanging over like that, no. Well, first of all, let me say this. How do you know he's not drinking? Are you sitting in his living room with him to know what he's doing? Are you monitoring his moves? Am I saying somebody said that Tyson? No, Tyson Fury. This came out of his mouth. So when we say that we think Deontay's lying, what are we basing it on? We're basing it on what came out of Deontay's mouth. I didn't call Deontay Wilder a liar because of what Blue Blood said. I didn't call him a liar because of what Dante or no. I don't believe the stories that he's saying. Now, does Deontay Wilder truly believe that he was cheated? Are you guys saying, well, he don't really believe that Tyson Fury put an egg weight? I mean, that would be ridiculous in his glove, you know. He's just saying that. You don't really believe that he believes that. How the fuck do you know what he believes? Only thing we can go by is what they say, right? Well, mean what you say what you mean. What are we, like 12 years old? We sit with little kids just make up stories and try to convince people to believe it. If you are gonna sit here and make up reasons for why he said what he said. You're doing the same thing that Deontay Wilder fans do. Bottom line, I'm not sitting here telling you what somebody said. Again, I'm telling you, and you all heard what he said, what Tyson Fury said. So what's so hard about saying, look, me and AJ both signed the contract, there's just some minor details we got to work out, and I'm pretty sure those things will be worked out, or I hope that they're worked out, and let's get the fight on. No, he's showing a complete disinterest, okay? And when I say he don't want no smoke with AJ, yeah, listen to this. This man said out of his mouth, okay, not a friend, not his mama, not his papa, okay, not his wife, out of his mouth, he said, I will never fight Deontay Wilder again, because Deontay Wilder insulted the gypsies and said they're all thieves and all this and that. Okay, so wait, you go from saying that all of a sudden to one particular night acting as if the fight's not going to happen, showing no interest, sitting there looking nonchalant, and then you say, I may just fight Deontay Wilder in the third. Oh, right. So now you don't really think that the already delusional Deontay Wilder fans is not sitting there going, see, he lost that case. There's no way. Look, Fury said he's not going to fight him, and now he's turning around saying he's going to fight him. That's why he didn't have to fight on December the 5th, and he lost that case, and that's why they probably was told, both parties, to not say nothing about it, and that was the... Okay. Now, whether he cares or not doesn't make a difference. Here's the reality, though, right? Everybody gets irritated with these LDVC guys and all these guys that keep coming up saying all these things about Wilder, making these excuses up. What are they going off of? Tyson Fury's words. Well, why is it that they can't twist and say what they think about why something is happening or not happening? But that's what you're doing. And I'm talking to the people that's doing that. Not just people who... Look, I'm not at the negotiation table, and neither are you. So only thing we can do is go by what we hear come out of their mouths. Why in the hell would you be going into a fight saying, "Oh no, I don't think the fight's happening next"? You want to know what's really crazy? I've heard like 20 different perspectives on what Fury is doing and why he said what he said. And I've heard, oh, he's just trying to sell the fight. How in the hell do you sell a fight? So when you hear me asking the question, okay, the rhetorical question, okay, in the video saying, how in the hell do you sell a fight by downplaying it like it's not happening? That's exactly what I'm saying. Where I'm getting that from, what I'm addressing is people saying that he's doing it to sell the fight. Then you got people saying, I don't think he did it, he's saying it to sell the fight. You got people saying, oh, he's saying that just so they can speed up the process. Okay, wait. Oh, he's saying that because, well, like he said, he gets bored, man, and then he gets these panics and then he wants to kill himself and all. Okay, wait. So y'all are sitting up here trying to think for him after he opened his mouth and spoke and said what he said. Okay, so let me just say this, okay? First of all, I know people who've taken their lives. I knew people that was going through some things. I knew people who was, smiling all the time, and you thought they were the happiest people in the world, and all of a sudden took their own life. Okay? We've all had certain situations. I myself went through a depression at one point in my life. Okay? I had anxiety attack. You understand what I'm saying? So I know how shit gets. Let me explain something to you, okay? I have a family. I have people I love and that love me. Are we going to sit here every time Tyson Fury feel like he's not going to get his way and bring up the whole, oh, I don't want to get to the point where I get my hopes so high, then I want to kill myself? So now, basically, when you don't get yourself, you're gonna threaten to kill yourself like that. That's supposed to be a game changer. Okay, have you ever known a crazy person or know someone who dated a crazy person and said some shit like, if you break up with me, I'm going to kill myself? I actually know someone who said that shit. And it's like, well, if that's what you think of yourself. So imagine that person going, damn, I can't break up with her now. She's going to kill herself if I break up with her. Listen, if you don't love yourself enough to want to live, if your wife don't bring you happiness, if you don't have something in your life that's worth living for, pause. Look, get into your fitness. Get into your fitness, man. Didn't he have all this whole, I got a new lease on life after he came back and claimed that he was 300 pounds and all or whatever? Right. Get into your fitness, man. Get into your wife. Get into something that I mean, come on. So what happens when he retires from boxing? Is he going to get bored because he's not boxing and kill himself? Come on with the excuses, man. Come on with the whole baby and holding his hand nonsense. You guys are sitting up here, oh, well, you know, but I don't think he want to go through a depression. No, who wants to go through a depression? Nobody wants to go through a depression. The whole thing of what's being said, okay, and what's being overlooked is when he's talking about, oh, but you know, the fights, you know, there's things that's going on behind the scenes that people don't know, but he won't address anything particular. So basically, Eddie Hearn and his own promoter are both lying. There's no fight, nothing, right? You didn't hear Fury talk about him signing the contract. No, Fury's talking like he don't want the fight. And to sit here after all of what you've been through with Deontay and his fan base, even Bob Arum went on Sporting Icons and twice and talked about that situation, okay? For you to turn around and all of a sudden out of nowhere, I may even fight Deontay in the third fight. Are you serious? Then he says he don't care. He just want to fight somebody. He don't care who, Mike Tyson, Fred Flintstone, or whoever, whatever. He's said all this crazy stuff, and then he's like, he just want to fight. Okay, so here's the deal, right? If they're fighting in November, and let's say he wants to fight soon, that's something that's going to stress you out and depress you and make you want to kill yourself because you don't want to wait till November. You want to fight first. Okay, well, let's say he fights and get his ass whooped and lose, and then the fight is off because he goes out and want to be Mr. Oh, I can't control my emotions. Listen, let's be realistic, okay? Tyson Fury can fight. Tyson Fury has made a lot of noise and basically built his profile to the point where people that really get behind him. There is middle ground because there's a lot of people who like he's not don't see him the way everybody else does. I hear a lot of that too. That's not what I'm focused on though. My thing is, with all of what Tyson Fury, you know, all the nonsense with Wilder, people who really wasn't feeling Fury started changing their perspective on him because they got sick of all the excuses Wilder and his fans were making. And now, after all of that, you turn around and say, you may fight him in a third fight. And again, you don't think that these people are sitting here gloating, making up more lies, saying that you lost the case. That's the only reason why you're fighting. You're talking about you're fighting Deontay Wilder because you was forced, because you lost that case. Okay? Deontay put that pressure on you and you lost the case. Now, without them getting news like that, you know what they're saying? What else could it be? It has to be that. No, it doesn't have to be that. But you guys are doing the same thing, trying to think for this grown-ass man and speak for him. Oh, you really think he's drinking too? I don't care what he's fucking drinking. I'm telling you what he said. I'm basing off what he said. Why is he posting videos with a big-ass pot belly? Look like a lot of beer to me. I don't know what the fuck is in his stomach. Do you know? How can you sit here and say, now I don't care if you think I'm wrong. Your opinion is your opinion. But okay, let me say this. Deontay Wilder said he wants Andy Ruiz. If he can't get Andy Ruiz, then he wants Dillian White. Okay, so check this out then. Let's say Andy Ruiz calls his bluff and says, sign the contract, let's go. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Deontay goes, you know what? I ain't even focusing on Andy Ruiz, man, because there's a lot of bullshit going on. You know what? Honestly, I think I'm going to fight. I just may fight Luis Ortiz the third time. Every one of y'all would be saying he's ducking Andy Ruiz. Or if it was Dillian White, you would be saying he's ducking. Why would you not? That's exactly what I would be saying. Why? What reason do you have to not fight? Then when you say there's things going on, there's a lot of bullshit. What? You don't detail what's the bullshit? What's going on? Nothing. Nothing. Tell me one thing Tyson Fury said in that interview that made any goddamn sense. Tell me that you walked away knowing something. No, you walked away saying, I think. And that's all I see in the comments on everything. I think that Tyson Fury said it because, you know what I think? Well, I believe that's all you're saying. See, the difference in what you're saying and what I'm saying is I'm repeating what came out of his mouth. So why would a grown 32-year-old man have to make lies up and say he sent, like Sugar Hill went home been gone since December. He sent his whole team home and he stopped training. He's been drinking beer, you know, twin 8, 10, 12 pints a day. Why? What's the purpose of that? Oh, yeah, you know what? He's trying to catch AJ off guard. So basically, AJ's going to think that he's not in shape. Then all of a sudden, fight night, he's in shape. And did that little kit come? Did it say Acme on it? Have a picture of Wile E. Coyote, that little, yeah. How to make excuses for a fighter kit that you got from Acme? What kind of stupid nonsense is that? So basically, he's going to pretend he's not in camp. Don't you think if a fight was going to happen, AJ's going to have several videos in camp, but nothing's coming from Tyson Fury? That's not going to seem odd. Like, wait a minute, man, what the fuck is Tyson Fury doing? We don't see any training videos, anything. Look, people, you sit here, you make excuses up for your favorite fighters. See, I'm so glad I'm not a fan of anybody's, because no matter who I like as a fighter, I don't care who you are. Tyson Fury, AJ, Errol Spence, you know, the Charlos, nobody gets a free pass. If you're doing something shady, and it's not about, I'm just waiting for somebody to make a mistake. No, it's when you're doing something stupid, something that doesn't make sense. If you're lying about, why am I going to sit here? Okay, let's put this out here. I told you guys, whoever Adrian Broner fights, I want Adrian to win. Have you heard the things I've said in regards to Adrian Broner? Like when somebody was trying to tell me Adrian Broner would knock out Josh Taylor, what did I say? I said if I was Adrian Broner, if I was in his shoes, if I was in his corner, I would keep Adrian Broner far away from Josh Taylor, because I think Josh Taylor would destroy him. I think Regis Prograde would destroy him. I think there's several people that would destroy Adrian Broner. That means I'm hating on him because I can clearly see his fucking skills have declined. And every time he fights a top elite fighter, he loses. The best he got was a draw against Jesse Vargas. Y'all remember, I beat that boy. When he fought Pacquiao. Did you hear me sitting here making an excuse? No, I said Errol Spence, I like him as a fighter, I like Crawford as a fighter, but I'm rolling with Errol Spence. Now, if I'm telling you I'm rolling with him to win, but did you hear me say, or did you not hear me say, Errol Spence is not trying to make this fight with Crawford. And Crawford is just being too quiet, sitting back, letting guys do this shit. People, well, he can't make him fight him. No, but he can't make him do anything. But he can open his fucking mouth. He can start to make some noise that way. He can start exposing shit instead of sitting back going, I mean, man, they don't want it, man. These niggas don't want it, man. Like, I've been calling these niggas out, man. Okay, you called them out, nothing happened. And you just letting precious time of your career go by. Now, he's supposed to be fighting Josecito Lopez, a guy that Keith Thurman already beat, a guy that nobody expects to beat Terrence Crawford. Okay, unless Terrence Crawford's skills have slipped considerably, there's no way he loses to Josecito Lopez. Okay, I don't know if you guys are even interested in that fight. Because of the way things are going, I think maybe for Terrence Crawford it's just a stay active type fight. You know what I'm saying? Just take somebody, you know, that has a little name, stay active, and then let's try to build off of that and get something bigger. That's probably what that is. But my point is, I don't make excuses for anyone. Okay? That's a clear duck to me. I don't give a shit what you say. That's a clear duck to me that this man, after all the shit that Deontay Wilder and him been through, and him out of his mouth, nobody put a gun in his fucking head and made him say nothing. He said out of his own mouth, I will never fight Deontay Wilder again. He's a bum. He's a rotten. I can't believe he was shocked by what he said. Right? And then all of a sudden, he may fight Deontay Wilder in the third fight. Why? Why? You talk about a fight possibly with Wilder, but you're sitting here saying you don't. It's like you're not even interested. I seen the interview. Most people that saw that interview, even diehard Tyson Fury fans, a lot of people were saying this is a terrible interview, man. Like, I'm actually disappointed in Tyson Fury. Like, he's sitting there acting like he's showing no interest. Oh, but you know, it's just Tyson Fury. Oh, so because it's Tyson Fury, he gets a free pass because it's Tyson Fury. You know, you can't take what he say. Well, you want to know what? That's music to the fucking ears of people who already say he's a cheat, he's a liar. That's music to their ears. Why? Because they're going to say, listen to what he said. Okay, let's rewind something. Remember how Deontay Wilder fans, oh, you're a liar. He never said anything about the costume. Oh, you're going to tell me what my two fucking ears heard? You gonna tell me I didn't hear him say that out of his own mouth? And I said it wasn't an actual video it was like an audio clip, but he was talking and he said, well, I had no legs from the beginning. My outfit was too heavy. And that, I didn't post that when I heard it because I don't think anybody thought that what was gonna happen, this big snowball effect of excuses and lies. So if I thought that was gonna happen, yeah, I'd have posted it. But you know what? That video disappeared and I couldn't find it anywhere. A couple of months ago, it resurfaced. And you know what? I brought it back up and posted it because why? I have no reason to sit here and make up lies. For what do I gain out of making lies up? I mean, I can sit here and tell you something that someone said, just like, for example, right? Try to find that Harold Sconia fight. Good luck on that one. So I'm lying about that too, huh? But do you remember how the Deontay Wilder fanboys, not the fans, the fanboys, okay? Remember how the fanboys were, oh, he never said that, oh, people just misconstrue yeah. Ever since Tay Jones used that fucking word, the whole Minion Nation turned into, oh, everybody's misconstrued. Yeah, right. Notice how when that video resurfaced and I put that shit up and every other channel put it up, oh, everybody was quiet as hell now. Not man enough or woman enough to say, you know what, you was right. I was wrong. My bad. Nah. They just shut up and want to just tuck their tail between their legs and tip away. So yeah, wrong choice of words. Just say, you never know if I'm lying and telling the truth. If you ask a person a question, don't you want a straight answer? Huh? If you got to work, let's say it's a schedule issue at your job and you say to your manager, hey, listen, I'm on the schedule to work tomorrow night. And he look at you and say, I mean, you might not. Man, what you mean I might not? Man, what? Either I'm working or I'm not. Like, simple, right? Do you want a riddle? Do you want somebody to sit here and just play around and he says some shit like, well, you never know when I'm lying or telling the truth. The games. It's like, bro, we keep video. Look, all I'm hearing is possible fights. We don't know if these fights are actually happening or not. Now, did I ever say, oh, this fight's never going to happen? No, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm just going by what Tyson Fury spit out of his mouth. Again, not something someone said, something Tyson Fury said that you all heard him say. And, oh, but you can't take it in a literal sense. You know, man, it's like, that is so stupid to me when people say that. If he was being sarcastic, joking or something, like I said about Charlo, I said, if he was joking about talking about, what's his name, just trying to be sarcastic, saying that Benavidez has to get vaccinated and all that. First, it's like, that's, come on with that shit, man. Now, all of a sudden, I'm hearing, oh, Charlo says he wants Benavidez to make the fight happen at 168. I'm not even focused on if that fight's going to happen or not until I start this, like I said, start to hear and see things coming together that the fight is actually going to happen. Because all we've been hearing is hearsay. So even when I did the video, there was a lot going into that video that I'm hearing from this direction, and all of it is just a bunch of talk. Why do you feel like you need to interpret what this man is saying? If I sat here right now and said, if I made a video and said, I hate boxing, I hate boxers, I just fucking like to talk shit about boxers, I hate these motherfuckers, I hope they all die, fuck them. How many of y'all would sit there and say, Aries just saying that, he don't really mean that? Then why the fuck did he say it then? One thing about me, I say what I mean what I say. We're not kids, and that's exactly what this shit feels like. You're dealing with a bunch of little kids. Like, what's all of the secretive shit about? First off, what makes no sense is, why the fuck, if he signed the contract, right, and the fight is almost about to happen, because I see, yeah, the fight's almost done. Yeah, they said, okay, then why in the fuck would he be depressed if the fight's almost done? If everything is looking like green light, hey, all systems are go, why would he get depressed? Does that make any sense to you? I'm going to get depressed because I want to fight. Oh, he only said that because he wanted to speed the fight up. Oh, so he's fucking special. Oh, fuck the unified champ. Oh, this man might get depressed and try to kill himself. We got to speed this fight up. You really think that? Oliver McCall walked around the ring crying and quit against Lennox Lewis and was crying. And he cried before fight started. And I said, this guy's a weirdo, man. Something's not right in his head. I don't even know should he be boxing? Like, what's wrong with this guy? He said, this is America. I got the right to not come out the corner if I don't want to. Y'all think that that's normal shit? Did anybody say, oh, he didn't really mean that? He just said that, man. No. So in other words, we hold everybody else accountable for what comes out their mouth. But when it's Tyson Fury, no, man, he didn't mean it like that. Or you're just taking it the wrong way. Look, when you say don't take something, you can't take it in a literal sense. You want to know something? I hear people say that shit about religion. I say, let me ask you something. Do you believe in the Bible? Do you believe the stories? It's talking snakes, talking donkeys, stuff that people say can't happen. Something that it only happens in the Bible though. But all this stuff, do you believe people walking on? Do you believe? No, I mean the Bible's not lit. It's parables. It's not lit. Okay, wait. So if you think that it's bullshit, why do you go to church every Saturday or Sunday or whatever day you go, fall on your knees, pray and worship, but you don't believe? You know what that's like saying? Pray for the best, but expect the worst. Lord, I know you ain't going to do this shit I'm asking you to do, but let me just waste my time and pray anyway, because I don't believe that this shit's going to happen. So why are you praying? And if you don't believe in the Bible in a literal sense, now it's your choice to feel how you want. But what sense does it make that you don't believe in something, literally, but it just makes you feel good, makes you feel better, to just participate in something that you think is not? You know in the Bible that verse where it says, if you had faith enough, right? Just what he said, what was I forget exactly how it was quoted, but I mean like just a tiny amount of faith that God, what does it say, will literally move mountains for you. Do you know how many people actually think the reason why these things are not happening for us is because we don't have faith, because we don't believe? You know how many fucking people I know will actually... Do you remember the story about this man about 4 or 5 years ago? Was on a safari tour, got off, he was trying to convert the people to become Christians. I think they was in Africa, South Africa, or somewhere, but they was in a safari hunt, out in the wild. You remember the story? That guy got off of the fucking tour bus, the little bus, right? And walked out to where the lions were, and they're, oh my God, what are you doing? They're pleading for this guy to come back. He wants to show them faith that if you really believe in God, okay? People don't play with that shit. A lot of people really believe, man. That's why a lot of people be stressed, because they're praying and nothing's changing in their life, right? That guy walked over there. Do you think that he didn't believe that God was going to protect him? Of course he did. And why would God protect him? He protected a liar like Paul, right? Okay. And Paul admits that he's lying in the Bible, but people, oh no, he didn't say, no, I can read and comprehend. You just didn't catch that shit. Paul admitted he was a liar, right? Whether Paul was real or not, you understand the point? What I'm saying with the words in there, he says, what did the verse say? He says, even though I being a tricky fellow that I am, I caught you with guile. And people didn't know what the word guile meant. What would you? No, basically, look, what he was basically saying was this. And there's other verses to support this shit. He's basically saying, look, and he even further says in the chapters that, oh, yeah, he's admitting he lies about prophesying about God and Jesus, but if I'm lying for a good cause, right? Why do you smite me? You pay your masters who strike you and hurt you, but then me, like, you give me grief. Right, because he's out here preaching false teachings. He never even met Jesus. And this is clear in the chapter, well, you know it. Stop trying to make up shit and change what was said. He said, I caught you with guile. Do you know what guile means? A trickster, a slickster, someone who will use slick words and trick you to believe them. Okay. This man walks out there because of his faith and think that God's going to protect him. Those lions mauled that guy and killed him. You want to know what people will say? That guy was just stupid. Come on. I mean, you got to use common sense. What the fuck do you mean? If your faith is you only all that jumping around in church, hollering and screaming and pumping your fists and shouting and all that, that's the only time that you feel powerful? Well, what happens outside of church? What happens at the workplace? What happens when your loved ones is getting gunned down? What happens when people all their life go to church, pray, ask God for forgiveness, all this and that? You think that only bad people get cancer? You think only bad people get killed? Do you understand? You have people that believe. They really believe. So when this guy got killed, imagine somebody going, yeah, but see, that guy wasn't no real. If he was real, God would have protected. Okay, well, how about all the other people? Little innocent babies that get killed. Did they deserve to die too? See my point, what I'm saying, I'm going through all that to make the point. Just because you believe something doesn't make it real. But just because you don't believe something and you want to try to flip it to make it make sense to you, right? Because you have a liking for something, you don't understand. It doesn't change what the reality is. So let's say Tyson Fury's just talking shit. It doesn't change my stance on what I said. I said this is fucking stupid, man. We want to know what's going on with the fight, and this guy's sitting here talking like he has no interest in the fight. So I'm wrong because what? If you go back, like I said about Deontay Wilder, like Deontay Wilder saying that the costume was too heavy. See, this is my point why Deontay Wilder's a liar. Because Tay Jones sat there and said Champ never said that. People misconstrue what he said. That's something that somebody else lied about it. And all people kept doing was they was showing the Twitter, what was said in Twitter. And these are reporters reporting what was said. Oh, he never said that. Okay, but what happens when the video resurfaces? See my point? Did Deontay Wilder step up and say, no, I did say that? No, he sat back and lied. And allowed people to believe lies. So what's any different about you guys saying, oh man, Fury only saying that because of this and this, and he only saying that because of this, and because I believe and because I think. What you think and believe, what the hell does that matter based on what this man just said? What all the things that came out of his mouth, like I said, from Sugar Hill going home in December, him sending his team home, he stopped training, he's no longer training. Okay, does that make any goddamn sense? If you listen to what I said and take your goddamn emotions out, did you hear me not say? How does that make sense? He want to fight, and he want to fight soon. But he turns around and says he stopped training. So what kind of stupid game is he playing? Notice when he was sitting there, the guy that was interviewing him said, you look slim, you look trim, So that's why and I'm thinking about the video before that video, the one when he was on that beach with that big pot ass belly, and I said, if that's an actual updated picture, man, of that video, if that's now, this dude is crazy. So all of this, I could drink 10 pints of beer and still beat Anthony. All this, look, I don't care about all that stupid talk and all that ridiculous claims. I'm talking about the simple fact of him showing no interest in the fight. And everybody getting all hyped up, talking about what's going to happen and who signed what and who did. But he's sitting here denying the shit. So what are you guys? I'm wrong because I'm saying what I'm saying. Okay, fine. You say I'm wrong. I say I'm not. And I say my opinion is my opinion. Okay, and my opinion is that he's ducking Anthony Joshua if he's going to really truly, I tell you what, if he ends up, this fight don't happen and he ends up fighting Deontay Wilder, it's a fucking duck. There's no way. There is no way that anybody can make any sense out of the simple fact that he signed the contract, AJ signed the contract, all parties signed the contract. They're just waiting for a few minor details. That's not what he said. That's the kind of shit Eddie Hearn is saying. But if you notice, when they asked Eddie Hearn about location and date, they even asked him, is Saudi he didn't answer that right away. He didn't say it wasn't a definite yes. Now, was it? So I don't need you guys to sit here and make excuses for this grown-ass man. He doesn't need you to sit and make excuses. You're doing the same things that Deontay Wilder fans do. Get up in your feelings and want to sit here and try to tell and talk for him. Who needs you to talk for him? Okay? I told a guy one night, I was at a red light, and he yelled something out the window. And I said, listen, if you want to continue to enjoy your night, pull off. Call my bluff and stay. Find out. He drove his ass off. And he was dead wrong, and he know he was wrong. I ran into that same guy about a couple of days later. I looked right in his face. I recognized the hat and the shit he had on, and he tried to look down. I just stared a hole in him. He wouldn't even look me in my face. Now, I could sit here and say, oh, I bet you he felt this, and I don't know what he felt. He looked scared as fuck, though. He definitely looked scared as hell, but I don't know what he was thinking. And I could sit here and say, yeah, that motherfucker, no. And I could, is it necessary? No. I don't really care. But I can say, I bet you he didn't expect to see me. And we was in a whole different part of town when I saw him the second time. And it was just like, yeah, And I'm looking, he wouldn't even look me in my face. I could see, like, he looked so nervous. He kept, like, cutting his eye. He wouldn't even look at me. But he was a tough guy in his truck. You know, I'm in my Jeep. He's in his truck. I guess he felt big. I don't know. But I can sit here and say what I think. I don't need to. But his actions was completely different from his words. But he pulled his ass off when I said what I said the first time. Why do we need to sit here and try to, oh, I'll bet you this, and I think this, and I think that, and I think this, but a guy says something, and you say that's not what he meant, or you can't take it literally, or you don't really think that he's drinking. It doesn't matter, bro. He said it. That's my whole point. Why are you talking stupid instead of addressing the fucking fight? Who cares about you drinking? He clearly said he stopped training. All this bullshit. What does that do, man? And I'm not gonna sit here and cater to this. Oh, you know, man. Cause you know he gets stressed out. Hey, motherfucker, what are you, his doctor? You sitting there holding his fucking hand, talking to him every day, man. Look. At the end of the day, okay. He doesn't get any special treatment. AJ, nobody gets any special treatment, other than who's the draw, who's the A side, and all that kind of shit. All that. Oh man, if okay, what if AJ decided to play the same game? Well, you know what, man, I'm not even training no more. Yeah. I haven't talked to Eddie Hearn in like 2 months, so I don't know what Eddie Hearn's talking about, man. What sense would that make? Okay, remember when Deontay Wilder, remember Tate Jones? Champ is in the best shape of his life. Yeah, Champ. You know, we've been ready since December. Remember? And yeah, Deontay followed up on that, right? Remember, wasn't it a couple of weeks later? Something like that? To tell you the truth, I haven't even really been training. Wait. You and Tyson Fury was a goal for December 19th. So you once he announced his December 5th fight, all of a sudden now you wanted to fight, right? Think about what I'm saying. Think about what I'm saying and where I'm going with this. Then you turn around and say you haven't been training. All of this came out of your mouth. And what did everybody say? Deontay Wilder is a liar. Why? We're going by what he said. Did any of you say, oh, but you don't take it in the literal sense, right? You know he's lying. Bro, why do we got to sit here and try to pick and choose what we believe and what we don't believe? If this man really want to fight, he'd make it happen. If somehow AJ and Fury don't happen and this dude ends up fighting AJ Wilder, it's a clear duck. Because he knows he can beat Wilder. He knows he can beat Wilder. He already did. And I have no interest in the third fight between the two of them anyway, but he knows he can beat Wilder. Why even bring Wilder's name up? Wilder still sitting here talking about the first fight and how he was cheated and all this other stuff, and you sitting up here supposed to be having an undisputed fight with AJ, and you're sitting up here talking about Deontay Wilder. You're sitting up here showing no interest in the fight. And basically, that's where I went with the whole situation. So yeah, This is another video addressing Tyson Fury. So what? Tyson Fury keep making videos. And every video, remember the videos he was making after he beat Wilder, and he was having matches over there in WWE, and him and his wife was doing these little training videos and all. He got a new lease on life, and fitness it makes him feel good. Okay, stick with your fitness. Don't start the pity party. Like I said, every time something doesn't go his way, oh, he gonna start with that. I'm gonna kill myself. I don't want to get to the point where I want to kill myself. I don't want to stress out. Now, man, come on, man. Stop with all of that. Stop with all of that. We don't need that to motivate anybody to want to see a fight. Man, look, we all are human. Things happen. Sometimes shit just get overwhelming. But this dude is sitting up here rich as fuck. You got people broke as fuck. Take their life because they can't feed their families and all kinds of other shit, okay? But he has a condition. What are you, his fuck again? You his doctor? All this shit, I don't even care to hear all of this little mushy shit. I don't care to hear all this mushy shit. What I'm talking about is what's going on with this fight. And we are not getting anything clear from Tyson Fury. So whatever Eddie Hearn says, Tyson Fury called him a liar. And like I said, his own promoter saying the same exact thing Eddie Hearn is saying. So I was Eddie Hearn a liar, his promoter's not. So when I hear these stories about this guy's pissed at Eddie Hearn because Eddie Hearn did this and Eddie Hearn did that, and Eddie Hearn said this too fast and he shouldn't know, I don't even know where this nonsense is coming from. So I'm just making this video because here's the real deal. I don't take none of this stuff personal. It's just boxing talk. But to be realistic, I have no interest in sitting here just talking about shit because you got 20 other channels saying the same shit and, well, I might as well talk about it. No. And it's all hearsay. We all heard what Eddie Hearn said. We heard what Tyson Fury said. We heard what Deontay Wilder said. We heard what Anthony Joshua said, right? We've been watching these videos. And tell me how any of this makes sense that you have to sit here and use your imagination as to what he meant or what's actually happening. Like you're actually there. And all I'm doing is saying, listen, based on Tyson Fury's words, okay, this is why I feel what I feel. So if I'm wrong, you fucking wrong because you sitting up here talking about what he really meant. You're altering what he said. I'm not altering what he said. I'm repeating what he said. So to ask me the question, oh, you don't really think that he's... Bro, why in the hell is a grown-ass man sitting here trying to play mind games with who? With who? Either you want the fight or you don't. And the only thing out of everything with them, being said that they both, Eddie Hearn is the one speaking. Other people, the promoters, same thing. They both signed the fight, and listen. Let me tell y'all something. We need more action and less talking boxing. And I'm gonna say this: if these guys, if this fight doesn't happen, because I'm gonna follow up on this. But if this fight doesn't happen and he ends up fighting Wilder, it's a clear duck as far as I'm concerned, unless we get something that makes sense as to why the fight didn't actually happen. And it has to be an actual reason. Because if you can't fight AJ, how are you going to fight Wilder? And not on top of that, I'm wrong because he said his December 5th fight was supposed to be in the UK, but then he turns around and says, I'll never fight in the UK again. Look. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say in this video. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people. I will catch y'all on the next video.